Welcome. I'm Danielle Sally.
And I'm Eva Fusa.
And you're listening to Ghost Boss, stories about the freelance afterlife.
All right, we're doing it. Let's go.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
I'm leaving that in.
Hey,
you gonna do our intro?
ghosties.
There you go. Hi.
Hey, ghosties.
And with that, we have, when we figured out how to say his last name, Dean Browell. Did I get it?
You did.
Did I? Okay.
No, it's Browell. That's what I'm going with. Browell.
I thought it was Browell. So, because you bro well.
Oh, well,
See?
I don't know if that's
I don't know about all that.
I guess I'll take it.
Oh, well, welcome to the Ghost
Thank
Boss
you.
podcast, Dean.
Thank you for having me on the Ghost Boss podcast.
Started off with a little bit of chaos energy already, and that's how we do it.
Probably not going to ratchet down, but yeah.
We're not. And Dean, before we start and before we tell anybody who you are, I want to tell you something. I wore weird earrings for you because I felt like you would appreciate these. They're cicadas. They are iridescent gold line cicadas. Yeah.
Are they?
Where else am I going to wear these?
Are they an object of art, or are they actual cicadas that have been dipped in gold?
I did not ask the lady with pink hair when I bought them.
I mean, I feel like that's a 50-50 potential.
Right. They are
fairy?
iridescent. No, it was not fairy like the lady that read my tarot cards, Dean. I don't know if you're caught up. But you know, we've had a lot going on. Anyways, hi, welcome. Yeah. We know Dean. Nobody knows Dean. Dean, introduce yourself.
My name is Dean Browell. I'm the Chief Behavioral Officer of Feedback, which sounds made up.
Ooh,
the Chief Behavioral Officer part sounds made up.
I wanted to get into that.
Yeah. We are, market research firm, but a truly long-time listener, first-time caller, and lover of the Ghost Boss ladies.
I think
and
that's
podcasts.
true, though. I think you've been with us since season one.
No, I'm not. This wasn't.
I don't even think you're lying to us.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I do want you to get into your title because I want to know in your.
Why are you just diving and making this all serious? Like, look at her. She's like, okay, for the questions.
She's like,
I'm
serious.
I'm confused.
I need to know what is a chief behavioral officer in your work?
Yeah,
because you don't behave. But
I didn't say it was about my behavior. So basically the basics of it are, and this is also works as a good segue, is, we are about using anthropology and ethnography in the online space on how people are talking. And so the idea is that we take behavior seriously, like what behavior people exhibit. And so the idea is that I can speak to both our process, like from the C-suite kind of side, as well as be able to speak to like behavior and how it matters to a client.
Gotcha. I was wondering, because I'm like,
I
don't think he's HR. Well, here's one thing I noticed with most strategists. There's a lot of words, but big words in there, and you nailed it.
True. That's true.
Many. So many. Something that I've always found interesting, Dean, like when you've talked to, look at me sounding serious. Don't get used to it.
I know, this is just really just dialed in.
Well, really into it. Because I connected you with Southeast Shishmed for some stuff, and you always tell this story or anecdote or case whatever it is. You tell a thing about like listening on social media, and so I think a lot of times when people hear anthropology and like behavior, they think about it like, I don't know that they always think about it through the digital lens and through like how we're interacting online, and that's so much of what you do, and that's what I find really interesting. Like you were sharing something like y'all saw people talking about this in like some of these online forums like 9 months before it happened or something like that. And so I find your work in social media a lot more in depth than just regular social media listening. And so I've always been like, felt like you're pretty fancy with that.
That you're
doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So actually, not to like stitch this way together perfectly, but
please do.
What you just said is also how I got into this mess. Like, so when I was working on my graduate degree stuff, like I fell in love with ethnography, like as a technique, like this idea of you
Mhm,
observe people, like, and people still do traditional ethnographies. Like they might go to your house and like observe, like, where do you put your pet food, or do you keep your vitamins in your kitchen or your bathroom or whatever. Like they
mhm,
might, it, like the whole secret shopper thing came out of ethnography. The idea was
mhm,
you would watch how somebody buys something. And I got real frustrated because I was working in higher ed, and like actually not just for my degree. I mean, like literally I was actually working in higher ed. I was PR
mhm.
director of a small college. And when I wanted to do an observation of like students and first year experience, I mean, I end up staring at them looking at their phones. And
Right.
so my point was like, why aren't we taking the behavior they're exhibiting online as
Mhm.
seriously as we're taking what they're doing in real space, meat space, whatever, like in real
Yeah.
life, right? Like, and
IRL,
so
right?
IRL, in IRL,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank
Yeah, look
you.
at me.
Thank,
I'm chronically
look at you.
online. I got the lingo, all
I
right?
got you. Yeah. So that's literally how that's how it all started, was me saying, can I take everything I love about ethnography and apply it to how people are talking? Like, even if it's somebody on a Reddit thread saying, you know, I just blew my knee out. Where should I go to get a surgery? Or whether it's somebody complaining about something that they did or something asking for recommendations, like whatever. Like the idea is that we could take that behavior seriously. So
Mhm,
that's it came literally from that space of like, we don't take it very seriously, or we do like social listening, like, Google alerts because someone said my name, kind of like, or like
mhm,
word clouds about Google reviews or something like that, as opposed to taking it like really seriously and saying, hey, here's how someone self identified, here's how they
mhm.
talked about something, here's what it means about their journey, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it does all connect. And it also connects, just to make this transition easy for you too.
Hey.
I mean, that's also, I finished that degree and that work in the higher ed space and went to the ad agency side
Mm.
As you
and
do.
got very frustrated, as you
Yeah.
do, uh, and got the heck out about 18 months later to start my
Mhm.
own thing. And that
Hey.
experience very much seems to resonate with many of the topics that you all speak about.
Mhm, mhm,
I was
mhm.
actually
Yeah.
gonna ask you how did you decide to make that jump to start your own company? And when you started your own company, was it just you when you started, or did you have like a group of people that you decided to start feedback with?
Yeah, so there were 3 of us, but yeah, it was funny too, because I feel like the story up until then was, I think it's pretty typical sometimes of some folks. Like, I was a client of this agency. Like, I was working at a college and I was a client, and then I, on my end of this, saw, like, dollar signs in my eyes of, "Oh, I could be applying my skills to so many different clients." Like, "Oh, why would I just have one client?" I started referring to myself as the client as only having one client, kind of thing, and, like, so I jumped. Meanwhile, they saw me as costing them money because I was building an agency inside the college, and so I didn't need the ad agency as much, and so I
Right,
think they saw it
right.
as, "Oh, good, we'll just pluck him out, we'll keep them as a client, and then continue to be able to use him." So I
Done.
did that, um and meanwhile, I was finishing up this PhD work, and so I actually finished that while I was at the agency, and I was the head of PR, and basically was like, "Hey, I have this research technique that I think our clients would really love," and this is like, I mean, in the Wayback Machine. This is 2009, like 2008, 2009. Like, internet still like a big deal, but not like Twitter was brand new. Like, so people were
Mhm,
like, the whole social media thing, everybody was fighting over who owns it,
mhm.
marketing or PR, whatever. It was all that kind of crap. And I was basically like, hey, I think the idea of listening first before you create strategies and whatnot
Ooh,
might be really helpful.
Hey,
ooh, ooh.
And I
Should
was,
we
I was,
research before we make
uh,
decisions, Dean?
oh, you'd think.
maybe?
Um, I was told in no uncertain terms that there are print ad mouths to feed, and
Uh, uh, uh,
we
did somebody
we
say
shouldn't be
that?
wasting time.
No.
Oh, I
Wow.
I have the email.
Do you have it
Yes,
framed in your office?
I
Print
should.
ad mouths to feed?
Yeah. Which I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not saying take food from the mouths of the print ad people. Like, I wasn't saying that.
Let's
But wait,
do
are they
it.
children? Are they orphans? Like, what? Like, I just,
It's just
like,
from the
are they
sweatshop
not?
that was just doing ad
Right.
resizes, just constantly.
Uh,
Yeah, well, that happened first, and when that
Mhm.
kind of bit of rejection happened, the then head of new business for the agency came to me and was like, our clients absolutely do want this stuff. Do you want to go start a thing, a sandbox where this is all you do?
Mhm.
And I said no.
Mhm.
And so I went back to toiling away and trying to push it internally.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget, it was a Nielsen article came out. And most of the time I was like kind of famous for yelling about how I didn't think Nielsen meant anything and published anything worthwhile. And actually at one time I actually went to CES and got a public argument during his talk during a Q&A with somebody from
Dean,
Nielsen at the time.
Dean. Okay.
Because at
he's
the
got
time
opinions.
they were
Okay.
saying at the time
Mm. Mm.
that if a commercial is on, people are watching it. And I was making the argument that people were starting to go on their phones
Yeah.
during commercials,
Yeah.
Well,
and
people
they
have been
didn't
going
want
to
to
the
hear it.
bathroom for 30 years during the commercials.
Allegedly, yes,
Allegedly.
Like, is
allegedly.
this breaking news to them? Like,
So,
what?
but eventually, after the Super Bowl that year, this is 2009,
Okay. All right.
they published an article that basically said, like, alert, people are on their phones during the Super Bowl, because a lot of the ads
Alert.
also were asking people to go on their phones, right? They were actually encouraging
yeah.
it, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
so anyways, I sent this article around to the whole agency and just was like, hey, not for nothing, I've been ringing this bell, guys. Like,
You
I think
petty
this is time.
man.
Wait. Oh, just wait.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I was like, we haven't even
so
hit the depths of
I
petty.
get-
Go ahead.
I get an email back, a direct email just to me that said, you better hope our clients don't see this article.
Ooh. Ooh.
And I was like,
Ooga booga.
you know,
Threats.
What?
this wasn't sent to me like by Raven and like written in lemon juice or something. I'm like, this was on the Nielsen website. Like, this was not a secret article.
Yeah.
So at any
They
rate,
can find us.
I turned to my then like assistant, Anna, and then Jeff, the head of new business. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's get out of here. Like, and so, yeah, we started Feedback about 17 years ago.
Okay.
And we just did it as a sandbox to do just this. And ironically, that agency became a client because
Of
their
course they
clients
did.
wanted to buy
Of
it,
course
and
they
so
did.
they became the channel
Yes.
partner.
Yes.
But one of the coolest things, our first client was the Martin agency,
That
and
is
I
cool.
think that immediately was at least validating of like, okay,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
maybe this is a valid
Maybe we know what
research
we're
technique.
talking about.
At least
Oh.
maybe it's worth giving it a look. So at any rate, so that was kind of the origin. So there's three of us, and this also plays into things where 3 different generations. We had a baby boomer, senior dude who's like the new biz guy, and then Anna was millennial, and I'm about as Gen X as you're gonna ever find.
You're
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
much
Dean.
the picture of Gen X.
The poster child of
Yeah. I assume you were
All of them.
literally born in a t-shirt with a blazer and a pair of Converse on. Like, that must have been
Yes.
rough coming out.
I don't know about
But
I don't know about the blazer, but yeah.
Your jacket? What do you call it? Your little jacket over your t-shirt?
No,
What is
I'm
it?
just saying. I know I don't love wearing that. That's just like I have to wear.
That's
That's
your
but you
that's
have
my one
worn
part of
it.
dressing up. Oh no, it's like my Billy
Okay.
Joel outfit. Yeah,
Yes.
no,
I know.
yeah.
Don't be getting fussy with me.
That's
I've
my
seen you
Alex
in
P.
it.
Keaton. That's my Alex P. Keaton.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. It's fine.
Nice.
It's fine, Dean.
So you started Feedback because you got bad feedback.
That's right. That's right. Hey, oh.
This is what we're here for. It's so we get paid the big bucks for. It's the joke.
We got
Yeah.
jokes.
That's right. And I wanted to, I just to say it too, like I think I mean, it was just the three of us for like the longest time too. I mean, so
Mhm,
I was making the donuts, selling the donuts. I mean, it was the whole nine yards. But I mean, I do feel like it's interesting. There is a lot. I'm not just to butter you up, but I mean, there is so much that you all talk about on this. I think that is very applicable for anyone. I would just say exiting agency life into anything, whether it's freelancing, whether it's spinning off this one thing that they just love to do, and they're like, hey, I
mhm,
really just want to concentrate on that. There's
mhm.
a whole bundle of emotions that go with that, and like just
Mhm.
things you got to kind of work through, and then there's the okay, this is taking off, or at least just slightly lifting above the runway, and you're
Yeah,
like, now what do I do? Like, what does that
right.
look like? What does that feel like? And that, I mean, there really is a lot that's in that. And we are a research firm, period. Like we don't do anything more than that. It's why we work with a lot of folks, consultants, other agencies, stuff like that too. But like, there is something to be said of like, hey, this is what I've decided to do,
Yeah,
and
and
there's a trust in that.
yeah, I think that speaks to, like, something that I think I'm seeing in the marketplace and in the industry, and you guys, like, chime in and tell me if I'm the only one seeing this, but I do think you see a lot of not just, like, freelancers and solopreneurs, but smaller agencies or smaller groups really getting specific into what they do. I think the jack of all
Yes.
trade like, certainly there is definitely a space for the large companies that do a lot of stuff because when you're really big, you've got enough resources to like have a whole department or a whole person that does that. But I'm seeing more and more less like people just like trying to be like, yeah, we do it all to people being like, we do these three things, but we do them exceptionally well.
So, all right, let me amen that and turn it around to say I think, and I feel like I have seen this. I feel like clients are starting to want that more too,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I
those
agree.
giant agencies that say they do everything, the trust is plummeting that they actually know how to do. Because there's this feeling of like, if you don't have a department, you're going to probably make three interns do it until we pay you enough to hire somebody to do it. And in which case, why
Right.
did you tell us you knew how to do this?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and I think there's more, like, actually, I mean, this is literally the panel I'm going to be on, plugging, either at HMPS or at MashMed. I'm on two different panels
Hey.
there, but both panels are
Hey.
about specialists. It's all
Yeah.
about how clients wanting teams of specialists rather than giant generalist agencies.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like that their time is done. They give us a lot of business. Hi, everybody. Please continue. But
I'm going to
there
save it
is
for
something
you.
I think,
I'm going to let you finish, but
yeah,
I'm going
I
to save
think,
it for you. Go ahead.
yeah, but I think that I do feel like that trust level though, from a client perspective, they would much rather know that you're really great at the thing they're asking you to do. And if there's
Yeah.
any like question about that, people don't have that many dollars right now to be throwing at things, and just to
Right.
throw things at the wall.
Exactly.
And I think
Yeah.
that's huge.
I think that's part of what it is. I think part of it's a budget thing, for sure. And I'm also seeing a
Yeah.
lot of the larger agencies partner with people who do specialized stuff instead of building
Yep.
out an entire department on that. And I think
Yep.
that makes a lot of sense from a business development standpoint. Like if you have one project that needs somebody who specializes in, I don't know, viral TikToks with influencer donkeys, right? 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 You need
Yeah,
somebody
I
who's gonna
know a
go
guy.
talk
Yeah, I know exactly
I
what you're
do,
talking
Yep.
about.
yeah,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
somebody who needs to go talk to Henry or you wanna go talk to Gus the cat or whatever. It is more prudent to go and, like, find somebody who specializes in that instead of building out, like, a influencer
Yeah.
TikTok department, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I see agencies doing that, and I think for the clients, it's a lot of budget stuff, but also I think
Mhm.
with social media and the way that we're able to market ourselves, like,
Mhm.
35 years ago, it would have taken so much work for me to let everybody in my network know what I do
Oh
at
yeah.
this desk, right? But
100%.
now I put up one
Right.
story like 2 weeks ago and I got like 10 bites off of that, right?
Right.
Who knows if
Right.
any of them are going to pan out, but again, like because they can do that, people now don't have to automatically call some larger outfit when like certainly there's a time and a place for that, but like sometimes you don't need a 50-person agency to do a brochure and a flyer for you, right? So, like, it's not that they don't have a
Yeah.
space, it's just not everybody needs all of that.
100%. And think about that too from a social perspective, like trying to let everybody know that that you do everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing too, is that again, it kind of just chips away at like the trust thing of like, I mean, could you possibly be good at all? Just like whatever versus like, look, I
Well,
can
I can
absolutely
be.
nail
Yeah.
that thing yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
We
absolutely nail
can.
that thing you need. Yeah. I mean,
100%.
Of
but I mean,
course.
you two
Of course.
accept it. Yes.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. But everybody else, no.
yeah.
It
But
is
it's
true though.
funny.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a funny world.
I feel like I'm starting to see that more with the newer clients that have taken on, because a
Mhm.
lot of them, they started those conversations with agencies and
Right.
then they got through the process. Ultimately, some of them sell price tags and they're like, I don't think we need all of this. We really
Yeah.
just need
Right.
to grow a pool of freelancers
Yep.
and start market like do not marketing it's that way, but doing work that way of
Mhm.
just creating essentially their little in-house team that
Yeah.
is all contract workers. And it's
Yep.
definitely seeing that more and more and more. And then the agency side too. I mean, they sometimes just need extra hands on deck.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people are starting to lean towards this more niche approach of this is just who we need right now and
Yes.
we
Mhm.
don't need to always go this long-term commitment of having a full-on agency or a full-on team to do this year long, but I think that's definitely the way things are going.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let me throw something else at you because I think this is something that you all talk about. I'm trying to remember if there was an episode where you actually like kind of specifically talk about this part. And maybe you're
Mhm.
also just being kind of not talking about this part, but I'll be spicy. Let's
Mm.
throw something spicy
Ooh,
Ooh,
out here.
spicy
spicy.
Dean.
Dean, you're Scorpio,
We
right? Is that what I
oh,
remember?
I mean, there is that, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I can tell you're
So
wearing a lot of black.
I mean, for once I'm wearing green. This is like the first time I've ever worn like
It's the
I had
brightest
to
we've
find a
ever seen
green
you.
shirt. Yeah,
That
by
doesn't
the way, if it's
even
just
look
because it says collar,
green.
it's
It
I
looks
know.
black on the camera. It's your
That's right.
soul shining through it. Anyways, go ahead.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Uh, there's also this element. So we really early on also made this sort of like big thing where we like, look, we wanted to have our from an employee perspective, and we didn't even have any
Mhm.
employees. Ours, I mean, it was just like three of us. But we were like, we wanted to be seen though as player coaches.
Mhm.
And meaning a couple different things by that. Like, was one, if a client asks a question, they're asking an expert that can answer it.
Mhm.
It's not like, "What a great question. I'll get back to you in 2 weeks,"
Right.
with that answer.
Right.
And the idea that it also means transparency, right? We wanted that. We wanted transparency on our work. We wanted them to feel like, "Hey, the more projects you do with us, the more experts we're getting to be on you and your audiences." Like that, I mean,
Mhm.
that's a huge benefit for us. What it also means, and I think this is where it is this thing is like it's just not having the paper pushers. And hey, God bless account
Oh,
people.
Oh, he said
oh,
it. He said it.
Dean. Going for the jugular, man.
Man.
But
Woo!
I'm
Woo!
saying, I think a lot of times when you would talk about Daniel, we're talking about those RFPs and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Somebody responds to that RFP and they look at that agency and they go, I'm paying for 8 people to attend this meeting.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and there's one creative out of that 8 people in that meeting. And, or how much of this is to staff the thing I'm trying to do, which could be this person way over here. And I
Mhm.
do think, I don't care how you want to describe it, overhead, whatever the thing is, right? I think that's the other thing about specialists. Now, it doesn't mean you have to manage potentially multiple specialists, right? And I think some clients are built for that and some clients aren't.
Right, right.
But I do think there is a feeling that I am getting either the source or incredibly close to the source of the things I'm asking you to do. And I
Mhm.
can have that conversation, and it is not a drawn out process that involves any more people than it probably should.
Mhm.
But that's me trying to
Mm.
be careful with the already spicy thing I've said.
Mm.
But I think there is a difference there.
Oh.
I think that's part of the trust element, right? Is like
Yeah.
trust you're not going to fly 4 people to the client when they've really just asked for
Right.
one person to come and hang out.
Right. I mean, that's
Right.
was a very I remember those conversations when I was agency side of being like sometimes having to be hyper mindful of how many people are in the room because
Mhm.
it
Right.
is
Right.
something that's constantly discussed. Like, why do you have 8 people here? Like,
I
don't
mean, if you're
outrate the
like, look,
client.
Marcia's an intern and she's just shadowing, like that's
Yeah,
fine.
different.
But
That's
like when
different.
you're like, these 8 people are all interns.
Yeah. Every single one of us, intern.
Yeah. And on the website. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
yeah, I
think
think
uh, go ahead, I'll
no, no, go
go.
for it. No, no, you go. You go. You go.
I knew we've made it 25 minutes before somebody had to be like, "No, no, no, you go, you go, you
But
go."
now I talk.
Yeah, it just reminds me of this time. Okay, now I have to start over because y'all are laughing at me.
Yeah. Uh,
Pull it
Don't
together,
cut.
kids.
Don't cut this bit.
Both of you. Okay. The Stop it. Both of y'all are terrible. The problem
I
is
can't.
like when I
All right.
when I
Can
when
you
I
I
go,
don't know
I'm
if you
gonna
can even see us.
I can. I'm looking at you
Oh,
now.
sometimes she can't see us, so I
I
thought it was
can't. I
funny.
have to look off
Okay.
camera. Oh my God.
All
Anyways,
right, I'm together,
are
I'm
you done?
together.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Mhm.
I don't think you are. Um, but yeah, I'll never forget when I was client side at one point, we hired this very small agency in another state to do a bunch of work for us, and they really scaled up for us, which was great. And then we didn't want to use them anymore, and we had a 30-day buyout in our clause, or but
Mm,
like 30-day
yeah.
cancellation
Yeah.
in our contract or whatever, and we canceled, and like the person that had like fostered that relationship had a long-standing relationship with the company that I worked for, and
Uh-huh.
he called me and he was like, "You don't understand, they hired like 8 people for this work." And I was like, "I'm sorry, first off, this wasn't my decision, this
Yeah.
was a
Right.
directive that I got, but also like I don't know how I politely said this because y'all know my face. Um, it's not
It's
my
attached to my
it's
body.
yeah, it's not my fault that you overscaled for this and that they
Correct.
and he was like, "These are
Right.
FTEs." He's like, "We're paying like benefits and stuff for them." And I was like, I mean,
Yeah. And
That
don't
was
get
a
me
decision
wrong.
they
I mean,
made.
yeah. I mean, and we
yes.
learned those lessons too. I mean, there were certain times where
Everybody
we
does.
had,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, you're like, hey, how many people can we truly feed with the work that's coming in? Or like, hey, I really want to hold on
Mhm.
this specialist, even though we don't have the work for them right
Mhm.
now. I mean, those are
Mhm.
all business decisions you have to make. But here's the other thing about that I think is so weird. And I just don't see this in any other industry in the same way. You told that client that you had the capacity.
Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, so to get
Mhm.
first off, the guilt of we
Oh, calling
hired
me
because of
yeah,
you. I
calling me
mean,
to talk to me about it.
Absurd.
what?
Wild.
What? But also
Wild.
just this again, again, it's all just comes down to trust, I think. Right. And I do
Mhm.
think that we're in an interesting universe right now. I mean, we've been at this for 17 years, but like I feel like the last like 3 years, especially, and part of it I think is the repercussions of COVID and like, people tightening budgets and scrutiny of things like and all that. There is just there's a different appreciation for specialists
Mhm.
and a much tighter scrutiny on, wait, what is this? Where is this money going?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
what am I getting for it? And to be able to you got to meet that moment. Otherwise, it's real easy to be like, I don't know what this money goes towards, and so therefore you're out. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and that's exactly what happened. Like we had hired them for a brand launch, and so the initial lift was huge. Like we
right,
needed
sure,
so much stuff. We needed a microsite, and we did an event, and we had all this
right,
stuff, and we had it involved trying to like talk about it without
yeah,
expressly saying what it was, but like it involved contracts in multiple states in healthcare, which gets
right,
Right.
right,
very sticky, right? And so
sure, yeah,
there was this huge lift initially. So like, yeah, in the beginning, we did need all those people to
Yep.
right,
do that stuff. But then the reason why I was given the directive to pull or negotiate the contract, we could do either depending on what we wanted to do, was because it was clear that they didn't have as much work to do. So we were getting on They kept our 3 times a
Yep.
week call, which is what you need for a brand launch, but not what we
Sure.
needed long term.
You're
And
like,
you could tell,
Right.
yeah,
yeah,
they were, like, trying to
we
come up with
just
stuff in
talked
these
48
meetings to
hours
do.
ago.
Yeah, yeah, and
What's
I was
Yeah.
like,
new?
yeah, and I was like, you could tell they're trying to come up with stuff to do, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were like,
Well,
we don't have that. So,
and I
Yeah.
think that's where a lot of agencies go go wrong a lot of the times is instead of first thinking having a pool of freelancers that
mhm,
they can work on. So that way when a situation
Right.
like that comes on,
yeah,
for the short term, let me get a bunch of people who can do that behind the scenes
yeah,
work so that we can keep
yeah,
executing.
yep,
They a lot of them instantly jump to, okay, we got this big new account. This is going to need 4 new full-time employees to take this on. And then if they lose the account, now you're
mhm,
seeing rounds of layoffs
Yeah.
because they didn't think through, oh, if this account goes away, suddenly I don't need these people anymore. And so that's
mhm,
Well,
what I think
and
it's
then
just, it doesn't
ironically,
make sense.
they do it
mhm,
again a
Yes.
month later.
yep,
Yes.
So what's
Same
really funny
situation.
is that they literally
yep,
some other division of the company will win an account and then start
mm,
hiring the same people that they just or the same
mhm,
kind of
mhm,
people at least. So
Yep.
it's just this constant roller coaster too. That's like
yeah,
this feels like it's just a bad business model, actually.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
weird.
and
This doesn't. No, this is a me problem. I feel like this is a you problem. Like,
Well, that's why, like, the audacity to call you and say, "I'm
oh
sorry.
yeah,
People are losing their
oh my
jobs because of
god,
you."
it was
because
so
that's
awkward. It was
it's
so
literally
Wild.
like them
awkward.
saying like, "Look, I bought a car because you hired us. And how am I
Right?
supposed
Mhm.
to afford the gas, the premium gas for this
It
car that I bought
right.
because you hired us?"
Yep.
Like,
Right,
okay.
right, right, right. The same person, I doubt he listens to this, so I'm just gonna say it.
We'll find out.
Um, we had a meeting, one of these meetings where the initial launch was done, and so we were having all these social media meetings. And this is a B2B, like a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
specific
Sure.
B2B brand. So like it doesn't need a ton of social media behind it, but they were doing these pretty significant ad buys. And in one of the calls, I was just like, I have to know, like, what is the ROI on these ad spends? Like, I just feel like we're putting a lot of money towards it. Are we getting conversions to number 1 to the website,
Right, yeah.
let
Mhm.
Yeah.
alone to contracts that will then
Yeah. Yeah.
eventually
Can you even
trickle
clock
back through.
awareness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, and so we got off the call and he called my superior and was like, I felt like Eva talked to me, like a dog asking the ROI on our ad buys." And I was like, "'Kay,
I
Oh my god.
the
'kay,
one time Dean and I are speechless.
'kay, 'kay,
What?
'kay." I was like, I tried real hard to be nice, but also, like, all I asked on the call is, like, I would like an ROI. I wanna
Wait,
know. It's been so long, I don't remember how
The
feeling
much it
dogs
was.
I know couldn't articulate ROI.
I
First off. Uh,
mean, like, but it was just wild. And so, like, again,
that's
like, and
incredible.
like, if part of the agency concern is that, like, well, we want to hire full time because we don't want to we need somebody more than like 5 hours a week. We need somebody
Right.
20 or 30
Right.
hours a week, or we don't want to have to go back out to the pool so often. You can also just
right.
short term contract people. Like, if somebody came to me
Yep.
and was like,
Right.
hey, we want to put you on retainer for 30 hours a week for 6 months while we get through this thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, a month out, we're going to take a look at it and figure out if we need to still, like, that kind of level. Clients have hired me to come in the office, and I've absolutely done the, like, day-to-day stuff. Like, that's also a way to approach it without committing to paying my health insurance and my benefits and all that kind of
But I
Yeah.
stuff.
feel like
And
it's a
yeah.
shame for some weird reason. I feel like it sometimes can be this weird like shame issue that you're not fully locked down. And look, I'll be totally transparent. We do a ton of short-term contract work with our
Yeah.
Mhm.
researchers
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
all
Do
have
you need any new
other
ones?
research
Danielle and I are
jobs.
here.
Yeah, there we go.
We're
And
right
you
here.
like because like we've got folks who literally we have a fantastic relationship with Purdue University because they have a
Yeah.
applied anthropology program that is just absolutely incredible. So we get undergrads from them, we get grads, so we get like PhD candidates and people who recently graduated PhD who continue to work with us.
Yeah.
And they like we have one, she's absolutely incredible. Like half the time she's like on site in a village somewhere, like doing her anthropology thing. And then when
Mhm.
she gets back, she's like, "Hey, I've got capacity." And we're like, "Awesome. This one just opened up. You'd be perfect for it." We do a
Great.
ton of short-term contracts, but there is something weird with that on the agency side sometimes where I feel like it's like they don't want to admit that they're doing that.
Right?
And so it's
Yeah.
this like shell
Hmm.
game. And again,
Yeah.
it all comes down to trust. It all comes down to me telling you we do this. And then in the background being like, guys, we got to pretend we do this. Come on, go quick.
Yeah.
Places, everyone. Like,
I mean, honestly, you're right though, because I think about
Yeah.
it too. And I think coming from the agency side, and I've said this all the time, I have a lot of work that I don't share on
Same.
website or
yeah,
social media
sure.
because it's from agencies and I
They
don't
won't let you
know
do it.
if they've
Yep.
exactly. There's been
They
some
won't let you
cases
do
where
it.
I've gotten permission from them to share it, but a lot of times I don't even ask because I don't know if they've told their client like, "Hey, Danielle's actually a contract employee or not,
Mhm.
Yeah,
contractor.
yeah.
Like she's not with
Yeah.
us full time." But
Yeah.
I don't know if it is a secret little thing as
Mhm.
though
But
they think their
but
clients don't know.
and the irony is the clients actually could love it and often do. Like
Yes.
we've
Maybe.
got, I'll even name. So we've got, like I said, Janelle was the person I was just talking about, and actually we have another one named Tony who's amazing. He's a brand center grad from VCU,
Hmm. Mm,
and
nice.
he's just an incredible dude. We put him on all of our channel partner work because he speaks agency. It's
Mhm.
Mhm.
awesome. But the funny thing about Tony is we can get on any call, and the first question out of our client's mouth to Tony will be, "So where are you?" Because Tony
Huh.
is an self-described digital nomad.
Yeah.
He
Oh.
might be in Romania, London,
Mm.
Uruguay, wherever he
That's
happens to
fun.
pop up for the call. And I mean, he and others, and we have others too, who have no need or want to become full time. Like
Right.
Mhm.
this is helping him afford what he wants to do personally. He's got other things going on, things like that. And at the same time, we're like, hey, you be proud to be a contractor for feedback. And our clients love it
Yep.
because they're like, hey,
Mhm.
what are you working on now? Where are you? What time is it there?
Yeah.
How good is
Mhm.
the Wi-Fi in this hostel you're in? And
Mhm.
he's often the one presenting, like with me, the data that we're finding. And it's
That's when
at any rate, that
yeah.
transparency, it's all still about trust,
Yep.
right? It's like, they're
Do
not
you
as hung up about that.
Yep.
do you think it's a generational thing? Like, Dean, you talk a lot about generations. Do you think it's kind
Well,
of
look at
like
that
the same
segue.
look at
That
this,
is
look at this!
expert.
Look at
Holy
this!
y'all are
Like we're
so good
pros.
at this. Oh my,
Look at it!
I'm
It's
just in
almost like
awe.
we've been
I
doing it for
can't believe
3
I feel like
seasons.
I'm getting a tour of the stadium. This is like I can't believe I get to see the professionals at work.
No
That is
editing needed.
incredible.
No, I may not edit this whole thing. They might hear that really awkward, like, chitter chatter in the middle
Who
where I tell
cares?
y'all be quiet.
Yes, I think it is partly
Yeah,
generational because for the same reasons, and I'll actually tie this to research we've done on nurses and the surge in travel nurses right now among
yeah.
Gen Z. The reasons why that is a tough sell to hire a nurse full time within the universe of a hospital right now, as opposed to staying a travel nurse is, hey, I don't want to buy a house. I may not even want to get tied down to a partner necessarily. I want this flexibility. And so
Mhm.
I definitely see that generationally in our research contractors. Absolutely, for sure. And I think this is also what makes it an interesting moment for our clients to talk about. I mean, I feel like we're, from a company perspective, we're a company now. So I don't get to say that I'm a ghost boss, right? Like
Right.
in the same, but I will
Mm.
say our research teams are ghost bosses.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right? Like, they're in their
yeah.
own I mean, some of them
Yeah.
are surprised they can make any money with an anthropology degree at all. And as a humanities person, hey, I got a theater degree. I get it.
You just, like,
I get it.
slicing and dicing today, man.
Oh,
Good
No,
gosh.
lord.
I'm just saying, but so we've got folks who are professors. Like, they're
Yeah.
Yeah,
teaching and they get to stay in the field with us. Like,
which I think is so
so
important. Yeah,
it
yeah,
is. And
Yeah.
our clients appreciate it. But I do
yeah.
think I think it can be definitely a generational thing, especially younger than Gen X. But I think especially as you get to like Gen Z, even now too, there's a true preference to do not tie me completely, to
Oh,
one
yeah.
spot. And if you can create a job that allows flexibility, whether that's work from home or work from anywhere, I guess would be the way to put it, and you're appreciating the fact that I'm traveling, that I'm doing these other things. I mean, that I think there's a real reciprocal relationship that can show up there.
Well,
Yeah.
I think your comparison to travel nurses is really interesting, specifically because I worked in a hospital for 5 years.
Mm,
And in the marketing department, I'm not a provider or clinician, clearly, everybody. Um, but I worked in a
They have
hospital
rules.
for 5 years, that I don't think they ever used travelers, and if they did, it was very, very rare. And
right,
then I worked for the hospital association where we had a company that placed travelers, right? So I've done a lot of
right,
marketing around travel nurses. I have a lot of friends who are travel nurses, and I have a lot of friends who aren't travel nurses. And one of the
yeah,
biggest problems or issues is the pay that a
sure,
regular an employed nurse comes to work and
right,
knows that the person next to them who's doing the same job is getting
yep,
paid 50% more, right? I wonder, and for context, when you are a contractor, like a travel nurses or like Danielle and I are, part of why we charge more is because there's so much risk in what we do. We don't know where the next paycheck's coming from.
Yep.
You
that's
charge
right,
Right.
we pay our own taxes, we pay our own health insurance, we buy our own equipment, right? So much of that additional cost is literally just overhead. And a little bit of it is
right,
to soften the risk that we take because we don't have guaranteed steady employment. But I wonder if that kind of, tension with the pay scale that exists in travel healthcare,
yeah.
is something that's happening here too, right? Like, is there tension because it's like, well, they probably get paid more for what I'm doing, right? Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. Go study it and
Yeah, and
report back.
it's funny because it's well, right, and the funny thing is, I think I think there's an assumption that it's the opposite. Like, oh, if I worked for an agency or I worked for a steady, full time gig, that I would get paid more. And that's the irony is the travel
Mhm.
nurse. It's really the opposite. Now you
Oh,
may have
very
other
much
limits.
so.
There's other limitations, right? Like I know that there's some states, or I don't know if it's a state is wrong. I want to get over my skis on what I know what I'm talking about. But I think there's some states where like you can't work but so many hours or days for a particular hospital
Yeah,
before
and then
you.
it
But
gets
they just go to an area where
complicated.
they could just rotate against around three, or whatever
Well,
over
yeah.
3 years, and
Yeah, and it
um,
it it gets so complicated with regulations and stuff like that, and some of the work we ended up
yeah,
doing at the hospital association was, universal language, for, plain language for, stuff in the hospital because,
yeah,
code blue in hospital A doesn't mean the same thing as code blue in hospital B. It certainly doesn't mean the same thing in the next state over, so how are these travel nurses supposed to provide consistent care if baseline
right.
communication doesn't exist? So as usual, I went on a side quest, but my side quest is related. I could just do an entire episode on travel nurses and how to market to them. Um, but
Yeah,
let's let's
Why
get
not?
back on track. Hey,
yeah.
so if feedback ever needs a partner for that, Dean, you just let a girl know.
There you go.
Hey, I was gonna say we do as much
Yes.
internal and employment research as we do external and consumer.
Yeah,
So there
yeah,
you go. Yeah.
yeah. So we've heard a lot about how feedback had got started and kind of the history of the company. So what's on the horizon for feedback? What's coming up?
Yeah, so we've had a weird in a good way, but it's
Ooh.
definitely, I think, not what we would have ever predicted, sort of
Hmm.
transition for the company. So we have been acquired in the last year.
Okay.
Plot twist,
Ooh.
it's by a nonprofit.
Ooh.
And so it is pretty incredible to be able to say
Hmm.
now that doing work with feedback means that you are also helping to fund the workforce possibilities and education for those with disabilities. So
Wow.
Awesome.
we,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
we've been
Yeah.
acquired by a group called PCSI, based out of
Okay.
Austin. They're like one of the top 5 nonprofits in the country for the employment and workforce education for those with disabilities. And so
It's
we're going to
incredible.
be a part of their new innovation arm called Pick Six or the PCSI X.
Okay.
And it's us, so the company going to be another company, and it's going to continue to grow in that way. And we're going to keep doing everything we've been doing. So they're like,
Okay.
hey, we love what you're doing, keep doing it.
Awesome.
And especially because we
Mhm.
do so much in healthcare around
Yeah.
conditions, all of that. And they're like, you could really help us like boost what we do in
Mhm.
advocacy.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it's awesome because to go from kind of the more like the ghost boss vibe, and then kind of then we have
Yeah.
like the, oh gosh, no, now we're
Yeah.
like boss, now we're actually like boss
Now I'm a
bosses,
real
and
boss.
like, yeah.
No, they
And
brought me back to
then
life.
now, right. And then now to be like just totally mission driven, like it's
So
just
Yeah.
so
awesome.
awesome.
It's
Like it
exciting.
Yeah.
is like, it's like the coolest. Again, I would have never predicted this. I would have never like, if you'd asked me, hey, do you think you're going to get acquired? I might be like, well, maybe. Because we've had like, I talked about how we started with 3 people, one of those
Mhm.
retired, and
Sure.
retired out. So it was just Anna and I for a bit. And, we've had other forms, but like to end up now in this place where they're like, hey, that thing you'd love to do, keep doing it, but you're probably going to get even bigger stages, and what you do actually will directly help people, especially those with disabilities. Like I just, it's awesome. Like I could not possibly be happier about it. So I'm
That's
super
Yay.
so
psyched
exciting.
for what we're
Yeah.
doing. And I think more of our research we're going to be doing as public data sets, because the idea is to
Oh,
like
that's cool.
let all boats
Yeah.
rise, do like a whole data set on like a state or a region on like an
Mhm.
underserved population, and be like, okay, we're just going to put this out there so all the nonprofits who work with those folks like can benefit. It's not about all of them trying to buy, the research separately. Like instead, no, just put it out there. Let everybody, really rise with that. And I think that's, yeah, it's really cool. Like I've been chomping at the bit to talk about it more. And so we just finally announced, but yeah, we're
Mm.
super excited.
Is this an
Awesome. Well,
exclusive then?
congratulations.
You'll be the exclusive
Ghost Boss
podcast,
Yeah.
exclusive.
Look at us.
where I talk
Hey.
about,
Hey.
this first.
That's right. You heard it here.
Yes.
That's
We
right.
haven't had one of those.
Look at
No,
that.
this is exciting.
What a day. I get to see how you work as a fan, and you get an exclusive. My gosh.
And I'll
Oh,
wear my
man. I
weird
feel
boat
like
earrings. I don't bring
I
them
mean,
out
you
a
got
yeah,
lot.
cicada earrings. I mean,
Yeah.
we
goodness
got it
gracious.
all from you today.
They're right there. Look at them. Look at them.
Oh,
Well, that's really exciting. That's really exciting. So you
Yeah.
mentioned the new name. Are you keeping feedback at all? Because I would
Yeah.
think there's some
Feedback
brand
is staying
equity.
feedback.
Okay, because I would think
Yeah.
there's a lot of
We
brand
we are
equity in it. Yeah.
we are going to
yeah.
be that weird and wonderful little research engine within this thing that they're building.
Perfect.
And it's going to,
Your
I
ugly
think down the
orange.
line, that wow, shots
Wow.
No,
fired. My
Listen,
God.
I hate all
Um,
orange. I hate
we're
all
in
orange.
we're
I
in
mean, that
Columbia. You
sounds
can't
like,
use orange here.
well, okay. Yeah, I guess I
You're
get
in
that.
Virginia. It's different.
It's different, although it ends up having other connotations with other
Yeah.
schools too. So, but yes, we'll keep our ugly orange, at least for the moment. But
Okay.
yeah, we're just the awesome, weird little, research engine. There's going to be other down the line. I think they'll have a lot of other things underneath this innovation arm that'll all can be geared
Yeah, that's
towards
cool.
helping those disabilities. But I
Yeah.
think right now, let's keep doing what you're doing, and let's, really go to town on the advocacy part.
That's
Awesome.
exciting. Congratulations.
Woo-woo. Yeah, no, thanks. It's
Aw.
awesome. It's cool.
Aw.
So yeah,
Yay.
I'm excited.
All right. All right. Well, why are
Done.
you laughing at me? That's what we do.
No, I'm not.
It's
I'm
literally
not.
how we wrap it.
I know. I'm just watching you land the plane. I'm just watching real time. It's great.
Well, now you made me feel weird. My
Live
transition's all
tracker.
off.
You're like, don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. All right.
Right.
Okay, fine. You know what? You can wrap us up when you're ready, Dean. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. You've been watching and listening to Ghost Boss, the premier podcast for
Mhm.
freelancers and freelancer life. We really
Okay.
hope that you enjoyed our special guest star, Dean Browell,
Guest
of
star?
Feedback.
Guest star. He went
I also
straight
misspelled
to
my
guest
name.
star.
I figure I was going all over.
It
I'm
might
like,
as well.
I am the, it's the Harlem Globetrotters on, Scooby Doo. That's the way I'm assuming that
You
this is.
scream Gen X all the way down to your radio voice.
My God, Dean. Also, I mentioned this on a previous episode, but if you didn't hear it on a previous episode, Dean is both an only child and a theater kid. All right, and you put it with the Scorpio.
And a Scorpio.
Did
Yeah.
so
just,
many
You
things
left
just fall
out
into place.
Scorpio.
just all bringing it all together.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I'll let
man.
you close this out, Dean. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. It's not my
No,
show or
but
anything. It's fine.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This
Thank you,
was
Dean.
amazing. Again, long-time listener, first-time caller. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, man. Thank you for joining us,
No.
Dean. And thank you for listening, everyone. We appreciate it.
So you don't yell at her when she wraps it up, just me? Yeah?
Just you.
I mean, I figured I just need to stop at some point and
Yeah.
let this plane land. So
Okay. All right.
I love you both.
Love ya.
No. This was really, see, now I'm going to be nice. Write it down. It doesn't happen a lot. This really was good. This was a great, it was great. This was engaging, informative. You're delightful. Not as delightful as me and Danielle, but you're pretty close.
I strive. I strive to be.
No, but really, this was great, and congratulations again on everything with feedback. It'll be pick
Thanks so
6.
much.
Is that a football term? I don't do the sports.
It is actually football too. I feel like I have to explain it because I'm like not the football guy.
Good
this
guess,
may
Eva.
surprise you.
Man.
But,
Well, I
yeah.
heard it during the Super Bowl once, and I told somebody it sounds like something I'd order at the Taco Bell, and they're like, "That's not what it is, Eva." I'm
That's
like,
all right.
"Okay."
Yeah, I'll take a number
Pick
F.
6.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but I'm not going to
Awesome.
say anything
There we
because he's
go.
going to yell at me.
All right.
No, I'm done.
I'm going to close this out. Thanks for listening, everyone. And thanks for joining us, Dean.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Pookie.
you.
Bye.
All right, we'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.
See you guys.
Remember to follow us on Instagram at Ghost Boss Podcast, and also please like and review us on your favorite podcast app.